They taxed our toothpaste like it was perfume, our shampoo like it was champagne, and our fridge like it was Ferrari. Today, the government has finally brought in some change. Hello and welcome to tonight's headliner. I'm Krishna Patel, and tonight we're talking about the biggest tax shakeup in India since GST was first rolled out in 2017. A complete overhaul of how you, me, and every Indian pays tax on things that we use daily. And no, this is not one of those tiny tweaks where rates shift by, say, 1% and 2%. This is a full reset. For years, we have lived with the complicated four-slab GST structure. The 5%, the 12%, the 18%, and the 28%. It confused consumers, it frustrated businesses, and it kept chartered accountants in business. But now, the government has decided to cut the clutter. From September 22nd, 2025, just a few days from now, there will be just two main slabs, 5%, 18%, plus one big 40% slab for sin and luxury goods. Now let's break this down. Because this isn't just policy talk, it's your wallet, your shopping list, your Diwali shopping plans, and your insurance premiums. Who benefits and how? First, the biggest winners, the middle class and everyday consumers. Products like toothpaste, soap, body washes, shampoos, packed food, biscuits, and hundreds of daily use items will now fall under the 5% slab instead of 18%. You see, that means you pay less every single time you shop for essentials. White goods, things like refrigerators, washing machines, air conditioners, TVs, and small cars, which earlier faced the steep 28% GST, will now be taxed at 18%, 10% cut down. Imagine buying a new refrigerator for the festive season and saving thousands just because the slab is lighter. And here's the massive one. The life and health insurance policies for individuals are now GST exempt. For years, people argued that insurance is a necessity and it's not a luxury. Today, the government finally agreed. But before you think that the government has turned into Santa Claus, hold on, because luxury and sin goods, which is Rolls-Royce, your imported whisky, cigarettes, your fizzy colas, will now attract flat 40% GST, 40%. Earlier, these items had a complicated mix of GST plus cess. Now, it's pretty simplified, 40% pay up. So, while everyday people, they get relief, the super rich and indulgent pay more when it takes effect. Now the timing, and this is political genius. The changes kick in from September 22, just before Navratri, Durga Puja and Diwali. What better time to tell people that shop, buy, spend, we've made it cheaper. It's not just tax reform, it's festival season strategy. Let's also talk about the wider impact, because this isn't just about a bill at your local supermarket or kirana store. The government itself expects a revenue loss of around 4.8 lakh crore, which is 480 billion rupees. In the short term, that's a massive hole in treasury. But here's the bet. With goods cheaper, people will spend more. More demand, more sales, more GST collection at the lower rates. Basically, lose money right now, make it up later. Now, economists say that if these tax cuts are fully passed on to consumers, inflation could drop by as much as, say, 1.1 percentage points. That means everything from your monthly groceries to your electronics could feel lighter on your pocket. Now, how it affects different classes, we're going to break that down for you too. Lower middle class and working class. These families live on a tight monthly budget. Every rupee saved on toothpaste, soap or biscuits is a rupee that can go to education, rent, saving. For them, 5% GST on essentials is a direct relief. The middle class. This group has long complained that buying even a basic appliance felt like luxury. Bringing down white goods to 18% means more affordability. And maybe finally replacing that 12-year-old refrigerator. For upper middle class. This group, they spend on cars, air conditioners, branded items. The cut from 28% to 18% is big for them. Festive season sales are about to explode, and these are the ones who are going to buy it. And finally, the rich. Well, sorry. Your supercar, your imported scotch, your designer handbag, they now all come under the 40 tax net. For once, GST is progressive. The richer you are, the harder you get taxed. And the senior citizens. Health insurance and life insurance becoming GST free is a game changing. For the retired couple paying premiums, this is not just savings, it is dignity. Now let's not ignore the politics. For years, GST was seen as Gabbar Singh tax, complicated, punishing, and anti-consumer. Today's move allows the government to say that we listened, we simplified, we relieved your burden. And the timing, right before festivals and just months before the election cycle, makes it hard to ignore the vote bank angle too. So here's your recap. All GST slabs were 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%. The new GST slabs, 5% for essentials, 18% for consumer goods, and 40% for sin luxury goods. Insurance, life and health, GST exempt. Effective date is September 22, 2025. Impact: cheaper essentials, cheaper appliances, lower inflation, higher consumption, and a hit to the government revenue. So tonight, India's tax system looks simpler, sharper, and let's admit, friendlier. But here's the big question. Will it actually work? Will businesses pass on these benefits to you, the consumer, or will they quietly pocket the difference? Will government revenue bounce back from the shortfall? Or will we pay for this relief later in some other way? Maybe higher income taxes, maybe fuel prices. The government has finally admitted that GST, as it stood, was a mess. Simplification was overdue. The relief is real. The intent is welcome, but the final verdict will not be written in Parliament or at the GST Council meeting. It will be written in your kitchen bills, your shopping receipts, and the inflation numbers over the next 6 months. So yes, tonight we celebrate the tax relief. Tomorrow, we watch closely to see if it truly reaches our pockets. This was your headliner at 7:30 p.m. I'm Krishna Patel. Good night.